Hi there. Today I'm going to continue our lecture on how to plan your research work. Let's make it possible. Well, in this topic, now let's plan. What I mean now, let's plan. In this term, in order to do your research, at the first stages, you have to have a plan. What sort of plan you have to have in starting your research? At initial stage, you have to start your reading the topic or issue that you're interested to explore. You must clear the sources of the reading. You know the research gap through readings. And you must also have the milestone or the Gantt chart in order to observe the movement of your research plan. Therefore, at the very beginning of your research of having a plan, you must now, by the way, have to sketch in roughly when you should start, and you must have some idea in your mind when exactly your research is going to be end, according to your plan. So, in this case, you must have the Gantt chart to plan. Let's talk about the Gantt chart. Gantt chart is a bar chart that provides a visual view of tasks scheduled over time. A Gantt chart is suitable to use as a planning project like performing a research, like short or long-term research, and it is a useful way of showing what work is scheduled to be done on specific time frame. Moreover, the Gantt chart is a suitable way to ensure that your research work is always on progress and in the right platform. If you really want your research thesis end on the right time, you have to plan your research work from now. By having your own Gantt chart to plan your work, you will finish your research on time. Most of the previous students does not have a proper plan for their final year project. They just assume the final year is just the same as the other coursework. But actually, it's not right. During the final year project, you have to plan everything on your own. When you need somebody to talk to or discuss about your issue, topic of study, you have to meet your supervisor. Your supervisor will guide you to tell you what you should do if you in puzzle. By the way, when you go back to your work of your research, you have to do everything on your own, starting from the preparing of the proposal until the end of chapter 5. You have to plan your own work. During the final year project session, what you need is a good plan and also need somebody like your friend, colleagues, and also your supervisor to talk about or to discuss about your topic of study. That's why if you don't have plan at the beginning of your final year project, you might think that you always have ample time. But you should remember, during final year project, if you want to finish on time, you have to have a plan to complete all 5 chapters during 14 weeks. Remember, if you not really care about the 14 weeks is actually a very short time, you might start your final year project at week 5. If you start your research or final year project at week 5 or later than that, you might be failed. That you must think about it. Let's talk about the research Gantt again. The Gantt chart again. Let's continue. I have discussed of how to prepare the Gantt chart in the model actually. I have already shown you step by step of what you need to do by using the Excel, how to prepare a very good Gantt chart. From there, you can plan your work and you can know your progress. You are going to be very clear when you should start, and actually you can have some idea when exactly your final year project can be complete. Other information of Gantt chart. A Gantt chart is a graphical depiction of a project schedule. It is a type of bar chart that shows the start and finish stage of several elements of a project that include resources, milestones, tasks, and dependencies. Henry Gantt, an American mechanical engineer, designed the Gantt chart. So, the Gantt chart name according to Henry Gantt. There should be a short enough duration that time frame can be accurately estimated. This can be done with the Gantt chart table with a hierarchical line of goal of work division with tasks and subtasks list under them. It may also be done visually using a mind map. Okay, milestone. In overall, a Gantt chart is a tool used for project management. It used to represent the timing of various tasks that are required to complete a project. A milestone chart is used to depict key events along a timescale graphical, meaning that a milestone is actually inside the Gantt chart. Okay. A milestone chart focuses on planned significant events scheduled to occur at a specific time in the program. Like the Gantt chart, the milestone chart uses symbols imposed on the calendar to provide information about plan and actual completion date and any revisions to the milestone schedule. Okay, milestone example like, finishing selecting the relevant article for chapter 1 references. Okay, meaning that in the Gantt chart, you stick there readings. Meaning that inside the reading, you have the milestone of finishing selecting the relevant article for the chapter 1 references. That's a milestone, one of the milestone in the Gantt chart of readings. Then in the methodology, Gantt chart named methodology. In the methodology Gantt chart, you have developing the model specification of the study. Right, go back to the reading. In reading section in your Gantt chart, you have preparing the literature review table. Yeah, after finishing selecting, maybe you have to prepare for the literature table. The literature table, I'm going to explain and discuss about this in the next video. Okay, draft the final conclusion for chapter 1, meaning that now you go to the last part of the Gantt chart, meaning that maybe you nearly finish your study around week 12. Something like that. So, during the week 12, draft the final conclusion for chapter 5. And many other examples. You can be plan as your milestone in your Gantt chart. Right, this is some example of the graphical example for milestone, where actually this is the Gantt chart. Writing the background, reviewing the literature, constructing literature and preparing the publication. This is the Gantt chart, and during the Gantt chart you have a few milestones that you want to achieve. Therefore, milestone, like identify the every task included in every step in the Gantt chart. Alright, thank you. We're going to continue the next video. We are going to continue our discussion in the next video. So I hope that you can understand what we already discussed in this video, meaning that in conclusion, having a plan for your research is very important to make sure that you can finish everything on time. You might not delay your work, and you always be motivated to achieve every milestone targeted in your Gantt chart. So I hope that by watching this video will help you to see how actually your final year project is not only about the research issue, it's also about the plan. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.